The tension was palpable before Selena Gomez even sat down. It was supposed to be a celebratory appearance on the View platform to promote her mental health initiative, the Rare Impact Fund. The cameras rolled, the theme music faded, and the audience applauded warmly as the co-hosts welcomed her. But under the surface of the usual morning show charm, something sharper lurked, especially from longtime co-host Joy Behar, who seemed ready for more than just a friendly chat. Initially, everything moved smoothly. Whoopi Goldberg offered a warm smile and introduced Selena's work with heartfelt admiration. Sunny Hostin asked thoughtful, grounded questions about mental health advocacy, praising Selena for being transparent about her bipolar diagnosis and therapy journey. Selena responded calmly, her voice steady and passionate, explaining how her own struggles pushed her to create a fund aimed at providing better mental health resources for underserved youth. But things shifted when Joy Behar chimed in. So, Selena, Joy began, slightly tilting her head, you've talked a lot about your emotional ups and downs lately. And I don't mean to be rude, but aren't you worried you're blurring the line between being vulnerable and being overly public about things that maybe should stay private? There was a beat of silence on the set. Selena blinked, a slight tension flickering across her expression. I don't think honesty and openness should ever be considered a weakness, she replied, calmly but clearly bristling at the tone. Joy leaned in. But don't you think there's a danger in turning personal struggles into branding? You've got makeup lines, music, documentaries. Are we helping people or monetizing mental health? The comment hit hardened. The audience reaction was instant. Audible murmurs rippled through the crowd. I talk about my struggles because people need to know they're not alone. I never claimed to be a Dr. Joy. I'm just someone who's lived through things. If my story helps even one person seek help, I think that's worth more than silence. The temperature in the room dropped. Joy, unfazed, pressed on. But millions of young girls listen to you. What if they take your personal path as gospel instead of seeking professional advice? Selena's smile vanished. What I always say is to talk to a doctor, talk to a therapist, talk to someone. I encourage that every chance I get. But people relate to real stories. I'm not prescribing anything. I'm being honest. The other co-hosts shifted, uncomfortably. Ana Navarro raised her eyebrows, clearly taken aback by Joy's confrontational tone, while Whoopi sat still, watching carefully, as if deciding whether to intervene. Joy, perhaps sensing the audience wasn't on her side, tried a different angle. I guess I just miss the days when celebrities were entertainers, not therapists or thought leaders. Selena's tone shifted, now more direct, more forceful. And I miss the days when people actually listened to young women instead of dismissing them as emotional or misguided. This isn't just about me. This is about an entire generation trying to survive in a world that constantly invalidates their feelings. Applause erupted from the audience. The co-hosts remained silent. Joy smirked, seemingly irritated. Well, you certainly know how to put on a show. That was it. Selena calmly reached down, unhooked her mic, and stood up. Her team backstage looked alarmed, but Selena never broke eye contact with Joy. I didn't come here to be disrespected. I came here to talk about saving lives. I'm proud of what I do. And if you think this is a show, maybe you're the one not taking it seriously. Gasps echoed through the studio as producers scrambled off camera. The tension could be cut with a knife. Without another word, Selena walked off set, her heels clicking against the floor as the camera operators hesitated, unsure whether to follow or cut away. Whoopi finally stepped in, calling for a commercial break in her signature calm but firm voice. Viewers at home were stunned. Twitter lit up in seconds. News headlines began forming before the episode even ended. Selena Gomez, America's sweetheart, the former Disney star turned mental health crusader, had just walked off The View after a live, fiery clash with Joy Behar. Backstage chaos erupted the moment the cameras cut to commercial. Crew members rushed to Selena's dressing room, where her team was already trying to console her. Her face was composed, but her eyes betrayed the weight of the encounter. She wasn't crying, she was furious. I came here to raise awareness, she told her publicist, her voice low but resolute. On set, the mood had shifted dramatically. Whoopi Goldberg, now off camera, reportedly told a producer that went way too far. Joy crossed a line. Sunny Hostin was said to be visibly upset, muttering to Ana Navarro, "That didn't feel like a debate. That felt like an ambush." Even the studio audience, still reeling from what they'd witnessed live, remained mostly silent. The usual buzzing chatter during commercial breaks was replaced with tense whispers and exchanged glances. Asterisk, as the show resumed, Joy attempted to deflect with a smile and light-hearted tone, clearly trying to regain control of the narrative. Well, she chuckled awkwardly. That was unexpected. But this is the view where opinions aren't just welcomed, they're expected. But the audience wasn't laughing. Moments later, social media exploded with clips of the exchange. Within 10 minutes, the confrontation was trending across Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. One video of Selena standing up and removing her mic had over 2 million views in under an hour. Hashtags like hashtag stand with Selena, hashtag cancel the view, and hashtag Joy Behar out were gaining traction at an alarming rate. Public sentiment was swift and passionate. People were angry. Asterisk, dozens of celebrities began chiming in. Halsey tweeted, "Mental health is not a punchline. Selena handled that with more class than I ever could." Demi Lovato, who has also been open about her struggles, wrote on Instagram, "I stand with Selena. Her voice matters so does her message." Even former First Lady Michelle Obama liked a post from a mental health advocacy group showing support for Gomez's work. Asterisk, by the afternoon, the situation had evolved into a full-on media firestorm. TMZ ran with the headline, "Selena Gomez walks off The View after explosive clash with Joy Behar." CNN and MSNBC picked up the story, framing it as a broader conversation about how the media treats women who speak about mental health. Meanwhile, Fox News presented it differently, questioning whether celebrities were becoming too sensitive for public discourse. Asterisk, ABC executives scrambled to respond, while The View's official social media posted a carefully worded statement. Today's discussion highlighted the importance of diverse perspectives. We appreciate Selena's time and passion. Insiders reported a very different mood. Behind the scenes, a crisis meeting was called that afternoon to assess the fallout. Producers were reportedly divided. Some defended Joy as a provocateur who's built a career on tough questions, while others felt the segment went completely off the rails and damaged the show's credibility. Asterisk, Selena, for her part, refused to hide. That evening, she posted a short but powerful message to her 400 million Instagram followers. Asterisk, I've spent years trying to create safe spaces for people struggling with their mental health. Today, I was met with cynicism and condescension instead of support. I'm proud of myself for speaking up and for walking away when I wasn't being heard. Mental health is not a show, it's real, and it deserves respect. Asterisk, the post went viral instantly, racking up over 10 million likes in just a few hours. Advocacy groups like NAMI National Alliance on Mental Illness and Mental Health America praised Selena's poise and used the opportunity to remind people of the dangers of stigma in mainstream media. The conversation Selena tried to have today is exactly the one we need more of, one group stated. Dismissiveness like what we saw on The View only makes people suffer in silence. Asterisk, in the following days, petitions began circulating calling for Joy Behar's removal from The View. One petition reached over 500,000 signatures within 48 hours. While ABC made no official personnel changes, the controversy clearly rattled the network. Behind the scenes, future guest bookings reportedly became more difficult, with publicists expressing concern over their clients being joy-baited on live television. Asterisk, Selena, meanwhile, took the storm in stride. Just days later, she appeared via video call at a youth mental health summit in Los Angeles, where she directly addressed the incident. Asterisk, not everyone will understand your story. Not everyone will respect your voice. But that doesn't mean you stop using it. If I walked away from one thing this week, it's that silence does more harm than confrontation ever will. That single quote became the headline on countless outlets, rather than tarnishing her reputation. The ordeal had only deepened Selena's credibility as an advocate who wouldn't back down, not even when the spotlight turned hostile. And as for The View, the dust hadn't settled. But one thing was clear. That morning changed the narrative not just for Selena Gomez, but for how daytime media handles mental health. Asterisk.